Right then, boys and girls, what's going on? Jubil Motovlogging here, and welcome back to another video. So, in today's video, I'm going to do a proper walk around because I finally got the majority of the mods that I wanted on the bike for my 2020 Yamaha MT07 in Tech Black. Now, we have done a slight walk around before, but the bike was pretty much stock. I'm going to talk about the upgrades I've got on it, and today I'm going to talk about the upgrades that I want to get on it for the tour I've got booked this year as well. So let's waste no more time and let's go ahead and get into it. So then, really quick before we start, does anybody actually know where we are? If people that have watched the channel for a really long time should recognise this place, and it's really strange that I've come up here today because it looks the exact same as when I filmed my Duke 390 walk around, one of the first videos I ever did on the channel. I'll leave a link up here, you don't have to go watch it all, but if you would have a click on, and then you get to see pretty much I'm in the exact same spot, the exact same weather conditions as well, which is really weird. We'll start from the front of the bike. The bike still got its stock headlight in, it's a halogen bulb, but I do want to put an LED in there. You'll see a lot of my thumbnails that it looks like the bike has an LED in there, but that's just me adding some post-production lens flare in Photoshop just to make the bike pop a little bit more. I'd love to put an LED in there at some point because LEDs are so much brighter, they run cooler, and to be honest they look a lot better. Then next up here is the Puig racing screen. It's the sport touring sort of screen. I don't really know what it's called, but I'll leave a link to the majority of the mods I've got if I can find them in the description below. But this one here is from Puig. It's on its MT07 line, of course. They do this one, they do a bubble one, and then they do a large touring one as well. To be honest, like I said, with the KTM screen, this is probably not a windshield, this is more of a fly screen. It just protects all this area from getting hit by loose stones or flies or muck and debris and all that sort of stuff. Cleans up the front of the bike, and it kind of gives it just a little bit of a windscreen. I don't really notice much difference, but yeah, looks cool, and pretty happy with the purchase. Next up are the indicators that come stock on the 07. A lot of people change these out, and I understand why. They're not the best looking, but to be honest, I can live with them for now. It's not the top of my modding list. To be honest, I haven't even looked into buying any sort of turn signals for this because, to be honest, these do their job. They're really bright. I'd rather spend my money on something else. So let's go ahead and have a look at the dash. Obviously, if you watch the channel, or if you are brand new, go have a look at the rest of the channel. If you like it, then of course subscribe. If you've seen the channel a lot, you'll know pretty much, you'll be familiar with the dash on the MT07. So first off, I got rid of the stock mirrors. Great mirrors, you can see a lot in them. Just weren't a massive fan of the look of them. Like the more naked vibe. I'm waiting to get some caps for these to space them because I don't want the inside of the threads to rust. And then again, also, I'll probably be looking into some sort of levers at some point in the future as well. Some nice black ones, just to finish off that black look. I really think I'd get a nice black look with the LED headlight and just look pretty good. But instead of the stock mirrors, I've gone ahead and got some bar end mirrors off Amazon, I do believe. These are universal, they fit on every bike, so if you're looking for them, I won't really leave a link to them because they're so easy to find anywhere on the web. Next then, moving up to the top of the dash, we've obviously got the quad lock system for my phone holder. I also use it as my GPS or my sat nav. I'll leave a link to the video up here to the install of this. So I've got this little adapter here, this adapter, and then the quad lock ball mount as well, which gives me a lot of flexibility when it comes to my phone. If I'm ever off the bike, I can stand over here on the phone. It's not that hard to pull out, have a go on it, and then flip it back. Really universal thing, one of the best things I bought for the bike as well. Really happy with that. And then to accompany that, I've gone ahead and got the genuine Yamaha USB socket for the MT07 and MT09. This again installs the exact same. I explained the install in that video, but basically took the dash off, bolted them both on, route this down under. You see this wire here under the fairing, plugs into the auxiliary cord, which connects us to the ignition, so you don't drain your battery whenever you're not on the bike and using the USB. Then the next thing on the mod list that I want to get, something I'm not in a rush for but I'll definitely be buying, is probably either some side tank pads or maybe a top tank or a center tank protector. Just adds a little bit more around the tank area, a little bit more diversity, makes it more personalised, and to be honest, better protection for the tank. But I have found so far that the tank doesn't really scratch at all. It's a brilliant tank. It's made of plastic, not metal, so scratching is not a massive problem. And then another one I've got on the bike as well, something I put on a little while ago but I never really mentioned, a few of you guys have noticed, is the GB Racing engine cover set. So I've got one for the left side and I've got one for the right side. I think these are made from a mix of like plastic, but they're really heavy and they're really durable. They feel like metal at the same time. It's a really sort of durable polymer, I'm not sure what it is, but basically the reason why I went for engine casings over frame sliders tend to flip your bike if they ever land in some sort of grass, which I ride around a lot of grass, so if I drop my bike or low side it, then it's probably going to dig in, flip, and going to be worse for wear than it just landing on the engine. Whereas with the engine sliders, if you're low side, all you're going to do is scrape the side of your bike, probably take this thing off, take a little bit of brunt here, not a bad panel, but yeah, I'd rather have to replace this panel and another engine cover than pretty much my forks being bent and my swing arm being snapped and all that sort of stuff. Now the main one everybody likes to talk about when they get a new bike is what exhaust they're going to put on it. I've gone for the AliExpress anodizing racing exhaust, £110 for a full system. Again, I made a full video on this exhaust. I'll leave a link up the top of here. I currently run it with a baffle in. We'll get a sound check in a minute, but I do have a video where I ran it without the baffle for a day and it was way too loud. So the gentleman over here will get a sound check while he's passing by. So again, like I said, this is with the baffle in the exhaust. I try not to breathe a whole load of fumes in, but basically the baffle's in right now, and underneath there's a little Allen key. So all you got to do is sit your Allen key in, see the screw there, basically wind it out, get some pliers and pull it out. Nice little pop there for you, but I'll try turn it off before I get complaints from the local farmers scaring away their sheep. So moving to the back of the bike now, I haven't really modded the backside, to be honest. A lot of people take the pillion pegs off. I've taken it on the left side just so I could get in there and clean the inner shock, but I do plan to carry a pillion passenger on this in the summer, so I will be putting that back on. Put the R&G rear axle sliders in. One, it's protection for the bike if it goes down as well, but two, it also allows me to put a paddock stand on the bike. Doesn't come with any sort of spools, this bike, or even hose for them, so there's a few ways you can do it. You can either put adapters on, or you can buy this from R&G, put it straight through the rear axle. And then again, I bought a cheap tail tidy offline. The great thing about the MT07 is that because it's such a popular bike, everybody makes knockoff parts for them and they're so cheap. Something I definitely noticed when coming from the 390. Kind of a rare bike. To be honest, just before I was selling it, it was kind of getting more of a normed bike, so people started buying a lot for it. But when I first got the new model 390, there was nothing for it at all. It was just KTM power parts bits, and they were super expensive. Super easy install, to be honest. Especially, I say, it's working with electronics. Pull that seat off, route them all through, plug them in, tidy the cables up. The only problem I had with this one is the stock tail light didn't actually fit this tail tidy, so they applied me with one, and when I took it for its first service at Yamaha, I asked them if they could solder it on for me, and they did that just fine. So yeah, they're the mods I've got on it. There's a few things I want to do for it for touring. I'll talk a little bit about the tour in another video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down, we're going to talk about the route, we'll go on some Google Maps and we'll see some roads where we're travelling. Probably get a bigger windscreen for it, maybe the Puig one, but I've looked into that. Doesn't seem too useful, to be honest. I might just get one that looks ugly as hell but does its job. I'll only be riding it for tours, so it's not like I'm going to be riding it with it all the time. Then I'm going to get I'm thinking of getting a small, just a 4 or 5 litre tank bag just to sit on the tank. I don't want anything massive, just something so I can throw the camera in, just so when we stop I don't have to go in my backpack all the time. I can just take my gloves off, wrap open, because we're planning on stopping a lot, because there's some really nice views where we're going. So yeah, I want to be able to get that camera out, get some good shots, get some good snaps. And then another luggage solution I want to do is I'm going to try and not take the backpack this year, because it causes a lot of fatigue. As good as it is, just something I'd rather not carry. So what I want to try to do is get some side soft pannier bags. So I'm either thinking some soft shell ones, some genuine ones from Yamaha, or I've seen some on XL Moto that are they're pretty much the same, but they fit to the underside of the bike, the little rails, they slide on, velcro over, and they're nice and secure, easy to take off, a lot of luggage, and as well also allows me to carry a pillion should I need to do so. So yeah, the last mod that I want to do to the bike before I go away is definitely, well, as soon as the sun comes out on the winter stop trailer, get a new chain and sprockets on it. This chain, I've got to say, I've only adjusted it once. I'm doing about 1,300 miles on the bike, but clean it, don't worry, I look after it. but it's rusting, and the other side of it's terrible. If you've seen in the video the other day, it's horrendous. But yeah, I want to get a nice gold chain on it, maybe some black sprocket, and maybe if the tyres run out, maybe get some Michelin Road Pilot 5s or 4s. Just another great tyre, great sport touring tyre. But to be honest, these tyres are doing well, the Battlelax BTO 23s. They're not rounding off at all. Great tyre in the wet, great tyre in the dry. They just took a while to bed in, obviously because I did bed a tyre in over winter in the snow. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the MT07. It's not got a ton of mods on it, but there's a lot of stuff I want to plan for it. What do you like about it? What you don't? I know a lot of people don't really like my exhaust because it's a cheap exhaust, but to be honest, the reason I went for that exhaust is it's cheap, and I just wanted to hear the sound of the bike, and plus I bought a brand new motorbike and I didn't have enough money to pay 400 or 500 quid for a full titanium system. We'll start her up, say a little farewell, and hopefully you want to go watch another of my videos. But yeah guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, if you leave it a like, that'd be brilliant. It really does help get these videos noticed. The channel's growing tremendously at the minute, so I do thank you very much for that. But apart from that guys, if you're riding today, ride safe of course. But this has been JBL Motovlogging, and I'm out. Peace.